guys, it's Dina from Tarot with Dina. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm continuing my series where I go through all of my card decks and pull out my favorites in several different categories. So today I'm doing extra cards and card backs. Okay, so what extra cards are is that a tarot deck has 78 cards traditionally, but when they print them, they print in these big sheets and then they cut them. So they actually print 80 cards and they only need 78 of them. So back in the day, extra cards would just be like the title of the deck and maybe a little bit about the deck. So these are traditional extra cards. What I have is a photo box from like Hobby Lobby or Michael's or something. It's like a 4x6 photo box that's like the size of a shoebox. Like it holds 4x6 photos. And I have like a box of just extra cards that are like these that don't really add anything to the deck, and the little white book so that my tuck boxes will close. So this is a traditional extra card, but sometimes people do something a little bit more with the extra cards. So with the Smith-Waite Tarot deck, Borderless Edition, they've included several of Pamela Coleman Smith's other pieces of artwork, along with a little card saying the name of the painting and when she painted it. So this is a nice little addition. If if you're a fan of her art to begin with, you may like seeing some extra cards that, well, they were paintings, but some cards made of some paintings that she had done. I especially like this one. It was very pretty. So this is not something where the artist intended it to be extra cards in a tarot deck, but they just included it, to honor her artwork. And then we get into some cards where they were designed specifically as extra cards. So this is the Modern Witch Tarot. And it comes with one card that says, "You are a badass being full of life, love, and possibilities. Through this deck, may you find a path to your best self." And then it has this card, which is also the same picture is on the Ten of Swords in the deck. But here you have the illustration for Ten of Swords, and it says everything is fine. And she's like just looking at her phone, pierced all through with swords. And this was actually the first card that the artist had illustrated for this deck. So this is more in the style of the old extra cards where it doesn't really add anything. And this is one of the newer style extra cards where there's an actual picture on it. So that was the Modern Witch. Then we have the Sakki Sakki Tarot. And again, it's the same idea. Like one of these cards is just similar to the way extra cards used to be, where it has the title of the deck, a little subtitle, the name of the artist. But then it has an extra card here that's called the artist. And it was designed where you could use it as the significator in a reading, or she says, in a reading it can mean working on your art without being afraid of failure. The card tells you to keep doing your art no matter what. So this is one of the earliest examples that I saw. This is probably from about 2007 that I got this, that had an extra card that was intended to be read as a tarot card. So that was Sakki Sakki Tarot. Then we have the Naked Heart Tarot. It has one extra card, which is called the Naked Heart. So it has this illustration actually of a human heart with some flowers coming out of it and like a butterfly in the back. And it has like the Roman numeral 22. So it comes after the world in the major arcana. So the Naked Heart card, it says, this card is telling you to listen to your heart and stop comparing yourself to other people. Trust your intuition. So this is the Naked Heart card from the Naked Heart Tarot. And then we get to the White Numen. So this actually has two extra cards. A Numen is like, I don't know, a soul or spirit. Like no matter how many times I look it up, I still don't quite understand. Like I guess the word numinous means like, I don't even know, spiritual or something. Like I look it up and it'll say it means a spirit or divine power, and I'm still like, I don't know, maybe I'm just dense here, but there are two. The Black Numen has like Anubis dogs, I don't know what they're doing here. There's like hands, or is that hands? They're coming up from below. I don't even know what's going on in this card. And then the white Numen has some form of cattle that is apparently running. So the black Numen card is a bleak card of impending loss that shows two Numen that are supposed to be facing their own extinction. It means distraction, confusion, and clinging to a lost cause. That must be what the hands are doing, clinging to the lost cause or whatever. The white Numen, this card is drawn to represent bison in cave paintings. I see that now. So that's why it's shown like the way it's running and its feet are all up like that. A lot of times in cave paintings, the running is depicted that way. It means creation, action, and momentum. It's telling you to innovate and make things new. So this is the white Numen deck. 2 extra cards that both contribute to the meaning. They have their own meaning, so you could shuffle these in. They're not just extra cards with a title on them, but you shuffle them in and you can also read them in a reading. Then we have the Cosmic Slumber. I actually really love this deck. Cosmic Slumber. It also has 2 cards for the extra cards. If you put them this way, the bottom face each other. If you put them this way, the top people face each other. But you have the morning and the night. So the morning represents a new beginning. It's telling you to rise up stronger than yesterday and begin a new project. And then the night represents escape at the end of a long day. It's telling you to slow down and face your problems. So I think these are actually really, really beautiful cards for the Cosmic Slumber. And then the final deck with extra cards that are supposed to be read in readings is the Wandering Star Tarot. And it's actually created by a songwriter from the Pretty Little Liars theme song. So that's just a little extra trivia about it. But what I like about these is that the Mother Star says yes right here under the title of the card, and the Creator card says no. A lot of times people are like, well, how do you answer a yes or no question? And some people are like, well, I don't know if tarot is really suited for a yes or no question, like, I don't know, flip a coin or something. But now we have a yes card and a no card. And I'm envisioning like someone could use this, like, if you've ever seen like the Gypsy Witch Tarot, or it's not a tarot deck, it's a little playing card deck. And it has like a card where you keep flipping from the deck until you get to the Joker, and then you get your answer, whether it's on an even or an odd number. So how I'm envisioning you could use the yes or no is that you would shuffle the deck and ask your yes or no question, and then just start taking cards off the top of the deck and see whether you get the yes first or the no. So in addition to having a yes or no meaning, these cards can also be read in a spread as the Mother Star is telling you you are stronger than you think. You feel overwhelmed, but you can use the powerful energy around you to move forward. Learn to say no to things that drain you. And the Creator card is telling you, even though you felt lost and confused, everything has a purpose that's led you to where you are today. Step up and embody your potential. So these are the extra cards that add something to the meanings. And my favorite, I really like that there's yes or no here. I like that a lot, but my favorite really is the Cosmic Slumber. I really, really love this deck, and I especially really like these cards. I like how they relate to each other. So that is the extra cards. And now I'm going to do the card backs that I really, really like. This is a deck that is an older deck. It's actually been in print for decades. This is the Hanson Roberts. It has these little illustrations. This is the woman who colored the Universal Weight. She had redrawn and colored that deck. She also made her own deck. And this is one that I've had for, years and years. This is probably a new copy of a deck I've had for years and years. But it just has like a really simple reversible. I always look to see if they're reversible. I don't read reversals, but I always check that out. But it just has a really simple swirly design. So this is the first of the contenders for my favorite card backs. You know, sometimes I don't love card backs. I hate when there's a deck that I really like and then there hasn't been a lot of thought put into the card backs, or even worse, I have some decks, I mean, I won't name the ones that I don't like the card backs, but sometimes I feel like I would have loved a deck a lot more if the card back wasn't so ugly, so I really appreciate when they put some thought and effort into the card backs. So this is one that I do like. This is the Tarot of the Divine. And I'm noticing a theme is I like, apparently, like a turquoise or teal color. This has like moon phases. And again, just a simple design. It is reversible. But this is an especially pretty card back design. It's also an especially pretty deck. I mean, all the way through, this is really well thought out and beautiful. This deck is the Oracle Tarot, and it's another older deck, and it does not have court cards. So that's why it's called the Oracle Tarot. It's kind of like a cross between an Oracle deck and a Tarot deck. And she took out the court cards because a lot of times people don't always love those anyway. They're hard for people. And I did edge this in like a Tim Holtz denim blue, and I need to go over it again and get some of the spots that I didn't quite get, but I mean, I edged it because it's an older deck and the edges themselves of the cards were a little bit grungy. Some of them were slightly tattered in the corners, but I really like this. This is not a reversible back, but it is an especially pretty back. And again, it seems to be in the color scheme where I'm like, oh yeah, all of my favorites just happen to have like this bluish green or blue and green. But I think this is especially pretty. This is the Soul Cats Tarot, which is a newer deck. I think it's only a few months old now. And this is just a really sweet deck to begin with. It has all these adorable kitty cats. But this back design, I think that's reversible. It looks like it, to my eye, it looks reversible. But it's just got the little kitty cat eye just coming through the flowers at you. So I like this one a lot. Next we have the Forest of Enchantment. So this is like a fairy tale themed deck. And I think I might take that same blue that I edged the Oracle Tarot in and maybe try to do a better job than I did on that one, but maybe edge this in blue because I think that would look really nice with this. But it has a reversible pattern of owls in a tree with like some little swirly design. I'm not sure what that's supposed to be in the middle, but just a really simple, and again, it's blues and greens. I guess I lean heavily toward liking it if it's blues and greens, although I have seen some, like I said, I'm not going to mention the ones that I don't like, but there's a deck with these obnoxious green backs that I just would love the deck if I didn't hate the back so much. But it seems like the ones I do like have a lot of blues and greens in them. This is the Green Witch Tarot. So this is by one of the authors that I loved in the 90s who wrote like, she has like four, oh my gosh, I loved her books in the 90s. She still has books coming out now, like she has this series like the Green Witch books, Green Witchcraft books. She had like the first two, and then she had the third one was like the manual to help you work through the content in the first two, and then, you know, now she has a fourth one that recently came out in that series. She has a lot of other books too, but the fourth one is about fairy magic. So she's been around a while, and she had written a lot about tarot in her other books, and she even had a book called The Green Witch Tarot that was not, it didn't go with the deck. So she made her own changes in the deck, and I'm trying to find where the major arcana is. So she would just tell you like, oh, instead of the Fool, I call it the Green Man. So she would like tell you all the ways she thought of it, but at that time she didn't have her own deck. So this one came out in like 2015. It was actually when I moved to my house, it was the first thing that I had, package that I had delivered to my new house. So it has like a little special place in my heart there. But this is like, the back design is not reversible because the star would be upside down, and also it would be at the bottom instead of the top of the card. But it's like a wreath. So if you think of like a door, and again, it's like a greenish blue color, but you have like a wooden door with like a wreath on it. So I really, really like this back design a lot from the Green Witchcraft Tarot. And then the final deck that I really like the backs of, and you can see this is not reversible. So this is the Everyday Witch Tarot. This is also a deck that's by an author that I really like. Like if Deborah Blake comes out with a book, I buy the book. I've liked so many of her books. This deck, all of her books have a little kitty cat. Like sometimes it'll have sections of the book that are written like from the viewpoint of the cat, as though if he were her familiar or whatever. But it's not reversible, but it is just absolutely adorable. So we have the Everyday Witch with the little kitty and the broom. We've got the Green Witch Forest of Enchantment. I'm really noticing some color scheme here though. The Oracle Tarot, Tarot of the Divine, Hanson Roberts, and the Soul Cats. So these are my favorite card backs, and I mean really I love this picture a lot, but I do think that the Everyday Witch, I don't know, I just really, really like this. I have this in this size. I also have it in the little mini size. I just really, really love this. But apparently I like blue or green backs, as long as they're not that one obnoxious one with the green, ugly green backs.
we won't mention the names. We'll just
No. We won't say whose card backs I didn't like. But in general, I tend to, I guess, like blue and green, or bluish green. But these are all, they're all really pretty. I think these are really pretty. I like this. But I like Deborah Blake's Everyday Witch backs the best. But I like all of the other ones too. So this has been my favorite extra cards and card backs. So in the coming weeks, I'm going to be doing some videos with my favorite court cards, my favorite major arcana cards, which might actually be 2 videos because major arcana could get long. But this has been extra cards and card backs, and that's all I have for you today. So I will see you next time. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of my videos, be sure to subscribe to my channel and ring that bell for notifications. I post new videos every Wednesday.